Right, here we go. The recording is on. Yeah, so again, welcome everyone to the last workshop of the Flipped Classroom series. If you missed any of the workshops, you can always go to, actually, let me share my screen so that you guys can see. You guys, if you missed one of the workshops and you want to go back to watch it and get credit for it, you can go to the live online training sessions, and the link to that page, I'll copy that link and I'll put it in the chat room. Let me paste that over here. And I see several people are still joining, so I'll post it again in a second so that everyone can have access to that website. By the way, how's everyone doing? We're almost there. The summer is almost ending, so I'm getting a little scared and anxious. So I hope everyone's doing fine.
Well, Jose, we just found out that Blackboard changed the toolbar, and
yes,
you might need a session on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Christine, I'm going to. Let me just check my schedule. Oh yeah, I'll set time at the end, a few minutes after the workshop,
Thank
to
you.
talk about. Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit several upgrades, and one of those, as Christine mentioned, is the Blackboard upgrade. And one of the things that I already got several questions is where did the HTML button go, which is my favorite button in Blackboard. So thank you, Christine, for bringing that up. I'll make sure to leave some time at the end to cover some upgrades. One from Blackboard, which Christine just mentioned. Also, Padlet did a major upgrade with a lot of new features. I'll make sure I'll spend a few minutes at the end and talk about those new upgrades. And also, Screencast-O-Matic has a major upgrade. And also, I'll mention a couple of things that Screencast-O-Matic has in the roadmap ahead, just to let you know what's in the roadmap ahead with Screencast-O-Matic. But I was back at campus this week, and so it was very quiet and strange, and I decided to stay home today only because my wife needs a ride to get her second shot. And so, but I do tell you, it was very overwhelming to go back, and it took me a while to just get acclimated again. So it was interesting to go back at campus. But anyway, like I was saying before, this is the last workshop. I just want to thank everyone who came to the workshops. I know it was a little bit tough with everything going on, but if you missed any of the workshops and you want to get credit, you can go to this page, the live online training sessions, and as you can see, the calendar is here, and with all the workshops that we did. And if you click on this link, it will take you to the video. Also, keep in mind, you can also watch the videos from our YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to the FIT Office of Online Learning, all the videos are here too. So in case you don't find them on this page, if you don't find the video that you're looking for, we might be still working on the website. But the most up-to-date you'll find, most up-to-date page is actually the YouTube channel, because we put the videos here automatically. And so if you're looking for a video that you missed, here you have all the Video Maker series. You have the Flipping the Classroom with Jeffrey and myself. Everything is here. All the workshops are all here. So, and then if you're ready to submit the form to receive, the stipend and to receive the Flip Classroom badge, you will have to fill out the form. And here, so at the bottom of the page, if you scroll down to the bottom, it says here, faculty who
Are you sharing
yes, sorry.
your screen? Hi.
I'm sorry. I thought, yes, I am sharing my screen, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. Well, we're seeing you.
Oh.
I can see your screen.
Yeah. I can't see you. I can't see the screen. I just see you.
I can see the screen.
Uh-oh. Maybe something wrong with mine. Sorry.
Oh, Lorenza, make sure that you go on the tab that has the little red circle on the top. Make sure, maybe on the wrong tab, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
That
weird.
could be it. If not, maybe try to leave the room and come back in. That might work.
Yeah. For some reason, I think. Yeah, I got it. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, you got it? Oh, okay, perfect. So like I was saying, if you want to receive the stipend, just make sure you go to the website. Actually, let me copy the link one more time, and I'll put it in the chat room so that you know where to go to get credit for attending the workshop. So I'll put that one more time. That link is right there in the chat room. And if you click on it, it will take you to the live online training sessions. And like I said, if you couldn't be at one of the sessions, you can always watch the video either on the page or go to our YouTube channel, and you'll find the videos here. And also, you can also subscribe to our channel so that you always get up to date all the videos that we're posting, on our YouTube channel. And so the $100 stipend and the badge will be sent to you once you complete the form. And so it says here, please complete all the questions on this form after your work is complete, no later than Monday, August 23rd. So we have 3 weeks to complete. If you miss anything and you want to go back and watch a video, and then make sure you complete that form and answer all the questions on the form, and we'll send you the stipend and a Flip Classroom badge. Any questions about the Flip Classroom badge or the stipend or how to find the videos? No? Okay.
I just have a quick question.
Sure. Hey, Lucy.
I just wanted to, if we watched one of these, and came to the actual class, then is that counted for, or how do we let someone know that we did it already and then just make up the ones we missed?
Oh, right. Like if you couldn't make it to one of the live sessions, you can always go back and watch it. Go either to this website and watch the video, or just watch it on our YouTube channel. That will count towards credit for watching it. So it's pretty much a the word is blanking. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's
Honor system.
Honor system. Thank you, Christine. You're always there to save me.
So if we came to one, then it's counted, but it's also just going on your word that you came to it.
Exactly, right. So the honor system, and we trust everyone here. So it's nothing like.
Well, Martin, you get paid $100.
But I like to think of it. It's much more than just getting the $100. I mean, I hope you all got something out of this. My wish is that you all came out of this, seeing video in education with a new perspective. That video can dramatically change the way you teach online or even in face-to-face as a flipped classroom. So that's my hope.
Right. I didn't even know about the $100, but since we went to so many, I guess it's worth to do it. But
Hey, yeah.
for everything, I learned so much this summer, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Lucy. Martin is asking, what is the purpose of the badge? Well, the badge, uh, I can tell you this from speaking to other faculty that if you have experience with creating videos, teaching online, and those kind of things, if you put that on your profile, either on LinkedIn or on your resume, I can almost guarantee that um, it will increase your chances of getting hired if for a teaching position almost in any school. They're looking right now. I know for sure a lot of the schools are looking for experienced professors who have taught online, who know how to make videos. That is like right now I can tell you is very high on demand because this is the way the education is going, that direction, right? A lot of schools are expanding their online programs. But with that, you need to know how to create videos and so that your lectures are actually online. And so it's a great way to. I also seen faculty put their badges on their signature, on the email signature, just to show that hey, I'm proficient in this or that, or the blended classroom badge or the flipped classroom badge, and those kind of things. So that's really what it is, and
Jose, can I suggest something?
sure.
Can
Yeah,
you
Christine,
think
go
of
ahead.
a title of this series and put it on your website so that that's the series we can put in our resume?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the series we called it. So the overall series was really the flipped classroom model or the flipped classroom technique. I think that's what we titled it. And then the sub series of that was the video maker series, right? So the
Yeah,
video
so to
makers.
make it official, like, can you put
Yeah,
it on your website? Yeah, because it's out
definitely.
there.
Definitely. I'll talk to Antonia, make sure that's
Yeah.
up there. And the badge will also have oh, Peter says I'll wear mine proudly on my chest. That's great, Peter. But no, that's a good suggestion, Christine. I will make sure that Antonia has that on the website, and that we are very clear on what it encompasses this whole series, including the Video Maker series. All right, so with that. I'll make sure that I'll end before noon just to make sure I have enough time to cover some of these updates that I want to share with you all. Um, but today we're going to end with a bang. I really like the topic or the assignment that we're going to cover today, and it goes along with the flipped classroom model because it is an assignment or activity that you will do in the classroom. When I apologize, my kids are home today, so if you see Rosie or Joshua running behind me, or if you hear the noise, it's probably them doing something funny. Um, but again, so the activity or the assignment that we're going to talk about today really goes along with the flipped classroom model, and it's just basically an assignment that you can do for your students in the on your own time, and then bridge it over to in the classroom. And it's called digital storytelling. And for any person, any teacher here, or any course that you have taught, a lot of the times we assign paper-based assignments. And I've seen some classes where you might have 4 to 5 paper-based assignments. It could be overwhelming for you as well as a student. So here's an opportunity for you to convert that paper-based assignment into a digital storytelling assignment. And I think there's several people here who probably. Let me just go back into the room and check because I think there's some people here who already have tried this assignment. Lorenzo Wong, right? Lorenzo, you're in here. You've done this before, so feel free to jump in if you have any suggestions on this.
Sure. Yes, Jose, I did. Thank you.
I think you're the only, and Martin, I think you tried it, Martin, or you're thinking about trying it. I think we spoke last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jose. Yeah, I'm definitely. I've been trying different aspects of it, but I'm gonna go full-fledged this time around. Yeah, with the training that I've gotten. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
And Martin, again, feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts. Anyone jumps. If you, again, my workshop. You know how my workshops are. I would like everyone to jump in and talk. I don't want to be the only one speaking here.
Sure,
Uh,
sure, sure. Yeah.
Peter's asking, I'm planning to use it in conjunction with a paper, field trip, and classroom. Oh, that's beautiful. So Peter, yeah, also jump in and maybe at the end tell us a little bit more what your vision is about, because that sounds really interesting. All right, so this is another document I want to share with everyone, and I just want to give credit to Lorenza Smith and Professor Smith and Professor Nancy Eder, for volunteering and sharing their assignment so that you can have a template or an example that you can go and use and make it your own. And that's the key word today is take the information, take the content and make it your own so that it becomes part of it blends in with your teaching style as well as what your goals are for this assignment. Let me copy this link and share it with everyone here so that you can have it. And feel free to make it your own, make a copy of this document on your Google Drive if you want to own it. And the way that you can do that is once I share this with you, you can just go to File, make a copy, and make it your own. All right, so let me paste that link in the chat room so that you can have a copy of this. Okay, Lorenza, yeah, I have used it for the final. Yeah, so Lorenza, I will love to have you talk and tell us also a little bit about how it went with your class. Right after I kind of go over a little bit of the details, and then maybe you can go ahead and tell everyone how it went for your class. That'll be great to hear your insight. So if you click on this link, I see people already are clicking it. That's awesome. So again, if you want to make this document your own, you can just easily click on File at the top left-hand corner and make a copy of this document. You become the owner of the document, and then you can just make it your own. You can go ahead and edit, and it will become your own copy of the assignment. So, oh, I heard a comment. Okay, perfect. So Lorenzo's down for that. That's beautiful. So let me just go over real quick with you. This is the instructions that are given to the students, right? And so this is posted it will be posted in the Blackboard course. Let me show you. Let me open up Nancy Eder's course. She allowed me to share this with all of you, and I really I'm thankful for her for allowing us for her to open her course to us, and we can see what she's doing. She's also shared with us, allowed us to look at some of her students, and Lorenza, feel free also to share with us some of the work that your students submitted. So that'd be great, so we can have two different perspectives of this. So let me go into this course real quick. I just want to show you how it looks like in Blackboard. Okay, so here's Nancy's course. And what Nancy did was she basically has a folder and she titled it Mini Documentary Video Assignment Directions. And if the students click on that folder, then what happens here is now they see the instructions, which I've shared with you all. And so these are the instructions right here. And this is basically the same as what I shared with you on that Google Doc. And then the next thing the students see is a video tutorial that I have created for your students. And basically this video tutorial covers all the technical stuff, right? You don't have to explain to the students how to create the videos. This tutorial that I created, it's already made for you and for your students to watch. I also have customized this video tutorial. If you decide to change it up a bit, I'll be happy to customize the video tutorial for you. And I have done that in the past, so it's not a big problem. If you want to change the steps, I can easily make a new video for you so that the students can see your version of the of the video tutorial.
So, Jose, if a student needs help, the
Yes.
video isn't enough, how
Yeah.
many resources do we have in FIT to help them? Like, they can't just call help.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great question, Christine, and maybe Lorenza can jump on this too. But I have my email contact in the video as well as here. So as you see, if you need technical support, reach Jose. And one good thing I can really tell you about this, and maybe Lorenza can talk a little more about, but the learning curve for this assignment is not steep, and I rarely get any questions. Last semester, so far we've been running this assignment now for the 2 years that I've been at FIT. And last semester, I think was the semester I kind of got the most questions, and it probably was about 3 or 4 questions from students. And the reason why there was a little peak this past semester was because the Adobe website went down a day before the deadline of one of the courses I was running it. And then some of the students weren't able to upload until later in that evening. These were students who waited to the last second of the deadline to submit the work, and then they were panicking because the Adobe website was down for like a few hours. And then I got maybe, I'll say, 3 to 4 emails from students in panic mode and say, hey, Jose, I can't upload. But regarding the steps on how to create the video, if I do get a question and I see the student and they say, oh, we're going to meet, and I set up a meeting time with them, and they write back, oh, I figured it out. 80% of the time, that's the response I get from students, and they say, oh, okay, I realized what I did wrong, and then so I haven't been bombarded with many questions as I've been doing this assignment for the past 2 years. And Lorenza, if you want to mention, oh, sorry, go ahead, Christine.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lorenza, if you want to talk a little bit about the question that Christine just posed.
Actually, you're right, Jose. What I did in class, because I did it for 2 semesters already. So what I did is I gave them a preempt to practice the video. I think a lot of them are just so cautious, or many of them like to try other videos. But when they do it, it's really easy. I probably got 3 questions. Professor, I couldn't figure it out, even though you had instructions. And I think the issue is what Jose has pointed out. As a matter of fact, I brought it up to Jose. Jose, it seems like my class can't upload. And that's when we discovered that there was an issue with Adobe. But Christine, it's really easy, and the students are very quick in looking at Google if they don't have enough from the video tutorial that Jose did for the specific project that I've asked them. But I think they love that I found that this semester, when I asked them to do a preempt, like a quick homework, and they were able to practice the presentation, they all said, oh, wow, Professor, this is really easy. We could use this in our other classes. So, they're so quick in learning, the students. So, they're just apprehensive to try things that are new, but then they get it, like it just goes on. Yeah.
And why this over Screencast-O-Matic, VoiceThread, the different?
Yeah, another great question, Christine. The professor that I give credit to on the first, when I first joined FIT, Professor Smith, I want to confuse you with Professor Lorenza Wong, but Lorenza Smith, she was the first professor at FIT that I kind of worked with, and she kind of opened her course to me, and I tried it first with her course, and she, at the time, we were using VoiceThread. So students were creating the videos in Adobe Spark, but then using VoiceThread to exhibit the videos or exhibit everyone's work. And now I'm using Padlet because Padlet seems much easier to do the exhibition. But the reason why I recommend using, to answer your question, the reason why I use Adobe Spark, it goes back again to the learning curve. When I used to do this assignment at Columbia, we at the time had to use iMovie. And And I would have to go into the classroom, spend 2 hours of the professor's time to teach the students iMovie. And it was just too much time spent on the technical stuff, not enough time spent on what really mattered, which was the subject matter, right? Whatever it is that we were trying to teach them. What I figured out with Adobe Spark was that dramatically changed. I didn't have to spend 2 hours now. Now I'm spending 15 minutes on teaching them how to make a video with Adobe Spark. And so the less time I spend on teaching them on the technology and how to create the video, and that allows the teacher to really spend more time on what really matters. And what really matters here is the research on the topic, the soft skills that are learned, which is being able to articulate your thoughts. As students, students aren't, I have found very little evidence of students who are being taught how to do an elevator pitch, right? How can you articulate your thoughts in less than 30 seconds? And Lorenza, please jump in on this one, because you and I have a long conversation about this. And your students also reacted to the fact that, hey, Professor Wong, I only got 30 seconds per slide to articulate my thoughts. That's too hard for me. So Lorenza, I mean, if you want to jump in on that, because I remember you and I talking about that,
Yeah, as a matter of fact, because I didn't want it to be too long, and I wanted to teach the students to be just, simplification, be creative with their slides. And another thing is you can actually create your slides within Adobe Spark. So, it doesn't have to be an overarching, of course, I had one student who did Screencast-O-Matic, because she said she's stressing about the 30-second per slide. But I actually tried to teach myself. I did my own slide just for me to understand what maybe the problems the students will have. And some of the students are so good, they can maneuver it, because you can repeat a slide if you want to talk over for more than 30 seconds per slide. But nevertheless, I think I wanted to teach the student how to quickly give their idea. They can elaborate on their verbiage in their Word document, but I wanted to, what's their high level that they want to present on a 2-minute presentation that can give them the simple thing that they've learned throughout the semester. I know that sounds like a lot, but to teach students to do a 2-minute elevator pitch is really, I think it's a great opportunity to be able to just give their vision in simple ways. Sometimes the most simple things is just more effective.
Exactly. And just to make sure I answer your question, Christine, it's just that Adobe Spark seems like the simplest tool to learn in the least amount of time without a steep learning curve, like using Adobe Premiere or using iMovie, Final Cut, or Screencast-O-Matic. And so we're trying to keep this assignment as simple as possible with few obstacles, and focusing on the subject matter as opposed to focusing on the technology part. So with that, let me just go through these instructions with you together. So if you go now to the document that I shared with you that has the assignment that's being scaffolded. Oh, I hear a question. Let me just check on that. 10 by 10, 10 slides. Yes, 10 exactly, right? It's almost like a pecha. What Peter is describing there is like, it really challenges the students to articulate, put their thoughts in small little chunks, like we covered in the Video Maker series. We talked about chunking, right? So if you give them 10 seconds per slide or 30 seconds per slide, you have to give me what's the most important things about this slide and move on to the next. It's really about, okay, just like a boss, you run into the boss in the elevator, you're going from the first floor to the second floor. You got less than 30 seconds to explain your idea, or else you're going to lose his or her attention, and so that's kind of the idea here. But like Lorenza mentioned, if students are finding difficult using Adobe Spark, or not that it's difficult, but if they want to use a different tool, you can always say to them, you can use, if you're proficient in using iMovie or Premiere Pro, which you might encounter some students, especially at FIT, since we're, a lot of the students here are into the media. You can say, well, use what you are most comfortable using, and then that doesn't kind of like corner them to Adobe Spark. So let me just really quickly go through the assignment together with you. And this one is Lorenza Smith's version, and she's a professor in the history department. So the first step, and we broken this assignment down into about 4 or 5 steps. So the first step is, in her class, she asked the students to choose an architect or an artist, and she a Google Doc so that students can all put in their names and select who their paper is about, so that we don't have duplicates. All right, so that's the first thing, is create a Google Doc, and then so students can submit their selections on who their or what their paper is about. Now, this is optional. If if everyone's doing the paper on the same thing or the same topic, you don't really need them to create a Google Doc. This is just for if you want everyone to have a unique topic. The second thing is the second step is to watch the video tutorial, right? And simply clicking on this link will take you to that video tutorial. If you have time later on, you can go ahead and watch it if you're interested in that. The third step is now this is what the video is about. This is what you're going to create. Now, this is really important, because what I've seen now in the past few years while doing this assignment, I've seen 2 types of videos produced by students. One, more of the documentary style, like if the students are creating their own documentary type of video, or a presentation style video, similar to if the student was in front of the classroom presenting to the students. So you can decide the type of how the final video will look like, because a documentary style is much more like as you watch a documentary on TV, is much more based on research and is much more about telling a story, whereas a video as a presentation style, I feel that's more like it has a different feel to me. It's just like the student is just trying to get to the points that are required of them, that you're asking them to tell you. Whereas a documentary style is much more telling the story about the topic. I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it. But here are some interesting points that Professor Smith requires her students. She wants the video to be about 4 to 5 minutes. The video has to include about 15 images about the artist or the architect, or on 3 or 4 works of that specific artist. A very soft musical background is suggested. Pretend you're making a video for YouTube. Speak fluidly and audibly with lively intonation. When narrating your slides with Adobe Spark, make sure to allow a few seconds of dead air before you let go of the record button, because then your voice will get cut off. Present clear visual evidence for each main point. Divide your presentation into 3 main parts. We're going to talk more about this later when I show you about Adobe Spark. The introduction, begin with a clear thesis, the core of the presentation, right? One or more identifiable body of the speech, and then the conclusion. Briefly summarize what you've demonstrated, answering the questions: why does this matter? What significance does it have in art history? Include a bibliography. And again, this is part of her grade breakdown. You might not, depending on how you design your digital storytelling assignment, it might not need a bibliography, up to you. And that's pretty much what Professor Smith requires on her assignment. With Professor Nancy Eder, she directs them into more of a mini documentary style video, right? She's looking for more of storytelling. And when you are doing this, it's very important. You might want to design a rubric for this assignment, because it'll be easy for you to grade and break it down into pieces, because you might have a criteria in your rubric for creativity, presentation style, storytelling, research, and then you might have a criteria for the paper that is attached to the video. So students will be submitting the video along with the transcript, right? So there's also paper-based submission. So they're submitting two things: the video as well as the transcript of the video. Now, with Professor Nancy Eder, here are some topics that she covers in her class. You know, K-pop, Osaka street fashion, Tokyo street fashion. And so, you know, these are some of the options that she presents to her students, and they can choose what they want to do the video on. So here she writes, these are just some example of documentary topics. The topics need to have a lot of visuals so you can make a mini documentary about them. Your documentary needs a theme. The video needs to have an introduction, the core content, and a conclusion. You will need to really consider your topic before you choose it. And also, they allow time for students to meet with the professor to make sure that the student is comfortable with the topic and they're on the right path. So you might want to set time to meet with students one-on-one if they're having difficulty choosing a topic. And again, she mentions my name here for technical support, along with my email address, with any questions about Adobe Spark. And this is really similar to what Professor Smith has, 4 to 5 minutes. You're not required to show your face on the video. Also, I forgot to mention that students can actually record their own footage and bring it into Adobe Spark, and that makes it much more like in a documentary style video. And so in this case, as you can see, the last step is then to post the link to the video on a Padlet. And I'm going to show you how that's going to look like in a second. Professor Eder also talks about plagiarism. Plagiarism will be graded as an F. You must upload your transcript and bibliography to Padlet. Failure to do so will be graded as an F. And then Professor Eder also has a rubric attached, right? And so here is a good, again, for transparency, so your students know what you're grading them on. You can actually here put your criteria. It could be storytelling, it could be presentation, it could be, whatever you want to make it, and your rubric can go here. And so you can use this as an example so that you can make your own rubric. Let me show you now real quickly how the Padlet will look like when the students are submitting the work. And so here I'm back into Professor Eder's course, and now here is all the work submitted by the students, right? Here, we decided to put an example column so that students can see. This is an example of how the video should go and how you should title the video and write a little description about the video. And then below here, then the students will upload the transcript and the bibliography directly into the Padlet. And the reason why we did it this way is because, as you can see, we have everybody, all the students' papers and videos are all in one place, right? And so you can see all the students are here, all the videos are here, and students can easily comment on each other's work, right? Very, very easy. Also for you as a professor, you don't have to chase anyone because you know who did it and who didn't do the work, right? Very important to set a deadline, because you can set that deadline and say, well, after that deadline, I don't have to keep checking the Padlet every day and chasing those who didn't do it, because then you say, well, at that specific deadline, then I'm going to go into the Padlet and then see who didn't do the work, and right away I know who didn't do the work, and then penalize the students that didn't do the work, or whatever you decide to do from there.
Jose, where do the students post their comment? Is it on Blackboard, or is it on the Padlet?
All comments will go here. That's a great question, Christine. Let me see if there are any comments here. I did see one over here. Where is it? Where is it? I saw, but the comments will go directly right here. You see where it says add comment? There aren't that many comments on this one, but I thought I saw one.
Okay, so the teacher will have to track the comments, because in Blackboard tracks it for the instructor. But this
Correct,
one you
yeah.
need a little more. Okay.
Exactly. You would have to go in and eyeball it because there is the Padlet will not track it for you. You would have to go in and see, okay, well, okay, here's one student who did a comment. If you require a comment from all students as part of the grade, yes, you're going to have to then eyeball it and go make sure that everybody in the class made a comment. Here's an example of a student of a video. Let me show you this one. I thought this was pretty cool. And then Lorenzo, you can jump in after this one, and if you want to talk about or share. Here's one student talking about manga, and here we go. Let me play it for you all.
In this documentary, I'll be talking about and explaining the importance of Japanese animation, better known as anime. Creating an anime usually starts with the writing of the script, created by the artists who initially developed the manga. Manga are Japanese comic books or graphic novels. The script is then approved by the director. Next, the storyboard must be put together. The storyboard includes the artwork that is going to be animated. They must illustrate and note when the characters are in motion and camera angles. Next, the landscape or background has to be developed by a separate department. Old school animes like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto have hand-painted backgrounds, but newer animes like One Punch Man use digital backgrounds. Next, the key movement animators finally start to finalize the work, then hand it to the in-between movement animators. Next, it goes to compositing, where they add color and shading. One of the final steps is the effects department. By now, everything has been fully drawn and colored with backgrounds. The effects department's job is exactly what it sounds like. They add special effects such as lighting, glows, auras, a glimpse in a sword, and many other things. Finally, it goes to production, where they make certain it is the appropriate broadcast time. Lastly, they hire voice actors and start to record. It is almost impossible to pinpoint when the first anime came out because most early animations were destroyed or lost. Also, at this point in time, there is usually only one copy ever made of animations. However, we can still start by looking at the early 1900s, where we can find the earliest known anime from 1907 called Katsura Shashin. Even though it's only a 3-second video of a boy writing something on a wall and tipping his hat, it is the earliest piece of Japanese animation that has been found. It wasn't until 1917 that one of the first Japanese short films came out, called Namakura Gatana. It was about a dim-witted samurai who cannot defeat even the weakest of opponents, and only lasts about 4 minutes long. For the next few decades, anime slowly metamorphosized. In Japan after World War II, Osamu Tezuka, an aspiring artist and cartoonist, released his first work, Shinta Karajima, or New Treasure Island in English. However, this was not what he was ultimately recognized for. It wasn't until 1963 when he released Tetsuwan Otamu, Mighty Atom, or the more familiar name to Americans, Astro Boy, that he became known as the father of anime. At its height, the TV series was watched by
So you guys get an idea of, what some of the work that students are doing, and this is really, I wanted to keep watching that video and to learn more. And when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And so it's like a documentary, right? It's like you really get to learn, you really get to give the students an opportunity to really show what they know about these topics. And so allowing them the stage to kind of use this type of medium, in this case, video, audio, visuals. Like in this case, it has some animations, some graphics, text.
So Jose, I found the narration to be very professional. Did the writing and speaking studio get involved with this, or?
That's a good question, Christine. I always try to tell faculty to encourage students to go into the speaking and writing studio, because they clearly are the gem. I mean, they're like the hidden gem at FIT. I really love the work that they do. But again, students, it's not, we can't require them. Like, it's not like something that's required. But I always say to faculty, make sure that you put it somewhere in your Blackboard course, and also encourage it. Mention it, because they do a great job over there. They got great people, Sarah, Steve, and Brian. And so, yeah, I recommend it. Send your students over there, because they do help with their speaking, and also not only that, but even with their presentation style. That's a great question, Christine. There's another question. Lucy's asking, can Adobe Spark be used for a group video? Yes, that's a great question. Well, with all Adobe products, you can invite collaborators, right? And so if you put the 3 people in a group and you ask them to, in your case, Lucy, I can see the students creating a video from beginning to end as they develop the package, the branding, the logos. You know, if you want to do a video of from beginning of the semester to the end of the semester, and how the students' project came from point 0 from A to Z, you know, to document the whole process, that might be fun, and see how the students' final project comes to life from beginning to end, and they document the whole process. That might be fun to do. You know, that might be a good idea in your course, Lucy. But you know, I know your course is very big, and so you already require a lot of your students. So, so this could be used as a final, you know, as a final paper, or it could be used as you know, as a midterm or final. I think Professor Wong, I think you used it for your final. I think it was.
Yes, I did it as a final. And yeah, it's more of a combination. I basically asked them, you know, to find a brand that's sustainable, and if they're not sustainable, how do you make it sustainable? So they either can create their own brand or come up with a brand that's currently needed help on sustainability and what they've learned in textiles, but they have to use what they've learned in class. So fashion designers really love doing it. I didn't really think, I mean, you know, I encourage them to seek help if they need to write, but they're very creative, and to Jose's point, especially in FIT, the students loved it, and especially being able to see each other's work. It's the pad that becomes open once, you know, I allow everybody to see it. So rather than putting the pressure of them presenting in class, they get to listen to the video. Yeah, so, I mean, did you want me to share anything, Jose, or do you want to just pull my course or something like that to show a video?
Well, up to you if you want to show something that you know that you want to share with everyone, or up to you if you want to talk. You know, yeah, leave it open.
I mean,
if you want.
it's basically very similar. I don't know. Can I share? I can just open my course and show exactly what you've taught me how to do from the 2 previous professors that you've shared their ability. So do I say?
Yeah. Let me. I'll stop sharing so you can share, and then I'll stop at 11:55 so that I can talk about the updates, and I'll give about 5 minutes of the updates on the other Blackboard and Padlet and Screencast-O-Matic.
Sure. So, goodness sakes, just a few months. I'm really bad about sharing now. Can you see?
So
can you see?
There we go. Yeah, we can see.
Okay, so this is hi everyone. I was just wanted to reiterate what I learned from Jose. I put it on my course content. So this is a folder on my course content, or in my course content, with all the instructions, very similar to what Jose document shared with us. I created a rubrics. I gave them a lot of information in terms of sustainability and what we've learned in class. This is the instruction from Jose's class, and this is what each of my students submitted. I can at least show you one if you are interested, a little bit different. So this is really his own brand, so I thought I'll just share how it looks. Maybe this will help.
Hi class, my name is Glenn Rowe, and I will be presenting to you the brand I chose, Ornelg. I decided to create my own brand because I want to prepare for my future company, and I believe this was the fun start. So the reason why I came up with Ornelg was because a lot of brands' names just consist of the designer's names, like Christian Dior or Alexander Wang. I wanted to use the template, but flip it around because I do not want to be directly linked to my brand name. That way, people may not recognize me that obviously. I would like to create a brand that brings Eastern Asian cultures into light, while also maintaining a sustainable and eco-friendly environment. Even though I say that, I probably will evaporate anyone's wallet who happens to purchase my designs. I take great pride in my work and will put every blood, sweat, and tear and passion into defining haute couture. In addition to designing my high-end garments, I would like to create my own fun furniture with the waste I produce. I have not designed my own brand yet, so I do not have real-life examples. The designer Simone Rocha follows similar silhouettes to that of my dreams. Therefore, I decided to use her designs as a small template to my design process. What I would do differently from Simone Rocha is the use of the 100% polyester that may last 200 years before biodegrading into trash. I love her boxy, traditional Eastern Asian style shapes with the modern organza. Sadly, I would have to use pigment printing for the most precise blue coloring of the designs, but I will make sure to be extra careful while printing to not create as much chemical disruptions and frocking of color. The fabric would also be very pretty for a chair or a cushion, so the fabric I use will not go to waste. I just wanted to give everyone a close-up of Simone Rocha's beautiful design so that she gets the appreciation she deserves. She makes harmful manufactured products look so elegant and desirable. So I believe by converting it to a more environmentally healthy design, we turn it into something more of a beauty. Somewhat similar to that of look number 1, the dress is made of
So I guess I'll close in there. So I just wanted to really, get this. I mean, I wanted to see the versatility of the Adobe Sparks. I thought it's really great for the class. Did I stop sharing? So because they can create their own slides or transfer their slides onto Adobe Spark. So I hope that helps. Sorry,
Thank
I didn't
you.
want to.
Thank you. Any questions for Lorenza about from the teacher perspective? If you want to ask any questions before we jump into the updates.
I have one question.
Sure.
Lorenza, did you experience any students who technology is not their strongest point that needed extra help with Spark or combining video, audio, and graphics?
No, sorry.
Yep.
No, Peter, actually, everyone seemed very savvy about it. No one had issues. And if maybe they did, they were able to seek help from one another. Because I know with my 2 classes, they created a WhatsApp group for these classes, and especially the fashion designers. They always kind of are together in other classes. So no, I've not heard anything except for that last time that Jose, when Adobe Spark went down, or Adobe in general went down. And that was the only time. And yeah, I think they're sophisticated, but I think you can see, like, not just embedding video, you can embed slides and do the do the letterings in there. You can choose different fonts, because that's what Adobe Spark does for you. So, I mean, I say that because I did it myself, just so I know what kind of questions maybe the students will encounter. So I learned how to do slides on Adobe Spark, and I also learned how to create my own video in case students do ask me questions like, Professor, this is way too hard. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jose, I do have a question. Do you need an Adobe account to use Spark, or can someone just create a general Adobe account, like an email account, and still access Spark?
Yeah, great question, Peter. The school FIT covers that. So we all have the pro account, right, with Adobe. And if you go to your Blackboard course, you'll notice that I put a link at the top right-hand corner over here. And if you click on Spark, it will take you to spark.adobe.com. When you get to this point right here, make sure that you click on Login with School Account, right? Because you don't want to go through the free version. You want to make sure that you use the FIT's Pro account. And as a teacher and as a student, we all get access to the Pro account for free. I mean, the school pays for it, so it's not really free, but So if you click here, log in with school account. And from here, if you type in your email address, make sure it's your FIT email address. Then you click continue. And then make sure that you choose company or school account. And then you click on that. And then you have to get authenticated one more time, because now the school, that was the Adobe side, now this is the school side. So just make sure you put your username here and your, I have it so that I remember, so I don't have to do this every time and type it in. So I do sign in, and that takes you into the Adobe Spark landing page. And from here, now you can do either graphics, video, or the web page. So you have the Adobe Spark is basically three-pronged, right? I'd like to call it like the little brother of Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and Premiere without the learning curve, right? And this is what the whole purpose about the assignment is, to remove the steep learning curve from those the top products, Adobe products, which are very hard to learn. You're not going to learn them overnight. Photoshop is not that straightforward. Adobe Premiere is not that straightforward, and Dreamweaver. So this is why Adobe Spark created the smaller brother of Photoshop, Premiere, and Dreamweaver, so that there is no learning curve. And then from here, that you would choose then video, and then from here you would give your project a name. So you can say my documentary video. You'll click next, and then from here you can choose a template, or you can just start from scratch. And this is where the students will be building their videos. Now I don't want to spend too much time on this because I'm already behind on time, but my video covers all this already. But as you can see, it's basically like PowerPoint. You're adding slides, and then within the slides you can add video, and if you click on video, you can import an MP4 file that you recorded with your phone or camera. You can add text, photos, and so on. And then this is where you would do record, and so you would click on this and hold the button and record as you're narrating over your slides. And this is the 30 seconds, right? This is the 30-second max per slide. And then you give 2 seconds of dead air, and you let go. I like how it says keep it short. It gives you like little warnings. And that's it. And so that's basically, and then you move on to the next slide and move on to the next slide. And then once you're ready, you click share, publish, and then you create the link. This will take a few seconds. Once you have the link, you copy the link, then you go back into Blackboard and you paste the link in the Padlet. And that's really the end of it. And then you upload your transcript and any other additional papers that the professor is asking of.
And does it close caption?
Oh, great question. If you keep the video within Adobe Spark, it won't get captioned. But if you download the video from here, if you click download and then you put it on your YouTube channel, it will get captioned. So that's a great question, Christine. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, that's an awesome question.
We'll say the URL is for that Spark video is very long, right?
The URL is, let me show you where the URL is. Here's the invite button that Lucy mentioned. If you were looking to invite several people into this one group to make the video, you can invite your team members by clicking invite and then putting in their FIT email address. But going back to Peter's question, here's the URL right here. And so you would copy this URL. Now, if you were to embed the video on Blackboard, you can click embed. But since we're just copying the link and putting it in Padlet, all you're doing is click copy. And then you will go into the Padlet, let's say this one. And then you'll find your name, click on plus, and then use the little link icon here. And then paste the link in there, and then submit. And now you see the video getting uploaded, and then you click publish. And this is a great segue to the updates that I want to talk about now, because this is one of the new updates in Padlet. Let me just click publish. You see the video now. It tells you Adobe Spark, and there's the video, and now you can play the video from there.
One last question, and I'll be quiet.
Sure.
That long URL, is it advisable to tell students to turn it into a tiny URL or something like that, so that they can customize the tiny URL?
It is an extra step, but I'm missing the point to shorten the URL. Is there something specific that you're looking to do?
Well, if I were to request that they send me the video,
Email
and have their last name and the assignment name or something, so that if I want to catalog it or save it, I don't know. I'm just wondering if it would be easier to identify somebody's video by having a tiny URL.
Well, remember though, you're identifying them. If you use this format, you're going to identify them by their names on the column, right? And so, and then you can even still download the video if you choose to download it. As a professor, you can you own the Padlet, right? So you can click download.
Oh, okay.
So keeping it.
I wasn't sure that you could download it out of Padlet. I thought it only resided in Padlet.
Oh yeah. No, Padlet lets you do a lot of things. That's really what's cool about Padlet. You as the owner of the Padlet, as a teacher, you really control everything. I went a little bit over, but let me I heard some of the questions. They had to work unit one by one. I mean, they actually but not work on it at the same time. It's a good question, Lucy. If you are working it, if you're doing it as a team, what you would do is you can say, and you can assign students. Okay, this student one has the intro. Student two will work on the content, or they would delegate and assign. Okay, which parts? And so if you have 3 students working on this video, then you can say, well, I'm going to be in charge of slide 1, slide 2, and slide 3. The next student will do 4, 5, and 6, and they can work simultaneously. So it's not like they cannot work together at the same time. But I haven't seen any professor do it this way, but I'll be happy to help you, or if you can tell me how it goes, if you do decide to do it as a group effort. So students can delegate, okay, I'm doing slide 1, so they don't record over each other. Okay, so real quick, and if you have to run, it's okay. I just really wanted to. I'm sorry, I went a little bit over, but I just wanted to let you all know there's a couple of updates. Christine mentioned one. The first one, which is really important, is the Blackboard. We had an upgrade yesterday, and one of the major changes is, let me just go out of Nancy's class. Let me go back to mine, my sandbox. A major change is the embed, right? So if you go into your Blackboard course and you're looking for the HTML button, don't panic. I know you won't find it because they won't say HTML anymore, but it's going to say, let me just create a new item. Actually, I'll use this one. So if I go in an item on Blackboard and I click edit or create a new item, and if you're looking for the the HTML button, you'll notice it looks very different now. And there is no HTML button. And so if you're looking to embed something, just take note that the less than or greater than icon here under this is called source code. This is now the HTML button. So don't be alarmed if you can't find it. It's just that they switched it and the whole layout looks different. And so if you click here, now you would paste the embed code inside here, and it will still work the same way. That's one of the major changes that I've noticed so far with the upgrade. If you see anything differently, just please let me know, or if you see something not working, let me know and I will reach out to the SUNY people. The second upgrade I do want to mention to you all is with Adobe, with Padlet, is now they changed the way students post. And the way it works now is when a student is ready to post, you get this new layout. It looks much different. And the reason why they did this is now that it removes the anxiety of students while they're posting something, it allows them to go over what they wrote and change it and make corrections if there's some spelling errors before they click publish. So for example, if I decide to put a video in there, let me just grab Lorenza and Jose's video. This is when Lorenza Wong and I presented at the CIT. But let's say I wanted to share this video. I copy the link. I go to the Padlet. And I click here. And then I put the link. I say here, I type a title video, and I put the link. And I paste the link in there. And what allows me to do now is I can dock the post. So if I want to keep an eye on what the other students are doing on the Padlet, I can dock it by clicking on this little arrow up here, and you'll see that it docks it to the side, while I can still see what the other students are doing. And if I want to do another post, and I can start writing something, I can also dock several posts on the Padlet, right? So you see now I have two that are docked. I have this one and this one. And also I can change the post color. I can make it red, or I can change, to any color I want. I can also choose the column that I want to post it on. So this is another feature that Padlet added. And so when I'm ready to post, I just click publish, and then it goes up. And then if I want to undock my other post, then I can publish it. And so this allows students to actually work on their post before it goes live. So it just gives them more time for them to make sure there's no errors on their post before they post it. Any questions on that? And I have one last update. Is on Screencast-O-Matic. Screencast-O-Matic is they upgraded their mobile version. So if you download Screencast-O-Matic to your phone, they added so many new features. You can actually record a talking head video from your phone. You can record a screen capture video, and you can do a picture-in-picture video, which is a major upgrade in Screencast-O-Matic. And also, they're going to be adding interactive questions for your videos in the short in the roadmap ahead, and they're going to add chapters so that you can add chapters to your videos as well as interactive elements as you create videos using Screencast-O-Matic. And that's it for me. I know I went over and I apologize, but those are the new updates from the tools that we are supporting at the online learning department. Any questions or comments? All right, yeah. Thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for making it all the way to our last workshop. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
I didn't know about $100. I was like, wow. I have 6 more videos to watch.
Hey, $100 can buy. Hey, $100 can buy you and I lunch.
Pizza, yeah, pizza and a cappuccino.
Hey,
Yeah.
I should.
if you want to spend your $100 with lunch with me, hey, I'll be happy to.
I'm taking you to lunch.
Jose,
Absolutely.
are you able to check your calendar for a time?
Oh yeah. So Christine, yes, I will. You want me to send you some dates, or you want to send me some dates and we can?
Yeah.
We can talk?
If you can send me, yeah.
All right. I'll send you some dates because I know you and I have some catching up to do, as well as the video that we need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sending a recording of this like you did the last week?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna send the recording to everyone along with the links with the documents that show the.
I had trouble opening the link for some reason. It kept telling me to update my web browser. I don't know.
Oh no, no worries. I'll send it to you. And I always do the summary email, and that will include all that information. And again, feel free to reach out to me. Anyone, if you have any questions or any issues, just please let me know. I'll be happy to help.
Jose?
Take care,
Yeah,
everybody.
Can I get like a minute, just one question with you, like before you leave?
Sure. Thank you, Lorenzo. I forgot to say thank you to Lorenzo. She left. Sorry, Martin. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Thank
No,
you.
I
Bye.
sent you bye. I sent
Take
you
care.
a follow-up email because of the missed opportunity that we had. Well, my fault. And so I'm leaving, unfortunately, for the Caribbean on the 12th, which is in a few days. So I'm just wondering whether it's possible at all for us to meet
Definitely.
before that. Yeah.
You're not gonna take me with you?
Oh man, I would love to. My head will be swollen with knowledge.
Hey, that'll be
So
trouble. That'll be trouble. You and I in the
yeah,
Caribbean.
right. On that beach with the white pig, right? Yeah. Um, yeah, that's funny.
I'll
That's our
send
little
you.
inside joke.
I'll send you some dates before the 12th.
I would appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. So you'll see my email I sent out to you, and we'll take it from there.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Sounds good, Martin. I'll send
Thanks a
it to you
lot.
tonight. I'll send it to you today, and then just let me know what works best for you, and then we can meet up.
Well, just about any time really will work for me at this point. Like, just be, just really, it's just about your availability. But for me, I'll make the time. Okay.
Sure, no problem. Take care
Very well.
and get better, man. Feel better.
Thank you. Thanks, Jose. Have a good one.
Hey,
Take care.
Jose?
Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter.
Sorry to be a pain.
No pain at all.
That first video you showed in the very first Padlet, I would like to try to show some examples to my students of what's possible. I don't know if that Padlet could be shared, or if there would be a couple of videos that you could send to show what students have done with Spark, so that they have a better sense, because often they just don't comprehend
Right.
how far they can take it, or how
Yeah.
creative it can be.
Yeah, that's a great point, Peter. And I thank you for that, because I haven't made the move. I asked faculty to share, with, like today, I was able to get, Nancy and Lorenza to share with us. But it'll be nice to have a video example from students that they can just watch, like an exemplary example, like something that's exemplary that shows what can be done. Like the one I showed about the manga, I think that's a good one, so they can, put in animation, video, audio, text, graphics. Okay, I'll do that, and then I will include that in I will put the examples in the email summary that I will send out either tonight or tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, depending how crazy it gets later today.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Peter, thank you. Those are great questions, and again, I welcome. The more questions, the better, because I just hate to be the only one speaking, and I can easily get too excited and I just go off like in a rant, talking. So I'm glad that you and the others were jumping in. I love that. So thank you again for participating and sharing your ideas.
Sure. All right.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Here soon enough.
Oh, I know. It's going by so fast. Like I said, I was there the last few days, and it was very a lot to take in at one time, because it was just overwhelming. So today I said, you know what, I'm going to stay home today. So maybe I'll run into you at the campus. So we'll see.
I hope so.
All right, Peter.
All right. Thank you.
If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. All right.
I will. Thanks.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.